All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Home to the cradle for the rise of football and the greatest spectacle in racing. This is All Indiana Sports, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. The Fever spent another 2 games without Caitlin Clark and managed to go 1-1. How did they fare, and when will we see Caitlin again? Let's discuss as we go all in.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm Kevin. This is my wife, Alexis, and we are happy to present All Indiana Sports as part of the All In Sports and Road Media Sports Network. It was announced before the game against the Sparks.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark would be out with a groin injury.
Yep.
What did I say?
You always do this, and I'm like...
Where did it start? Where was the first injury?
Oh, her quad.
Okay. And now?
Now.
It's made its way over the groin.
Yeah. But we don't know if it's the same leg.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean...
I don't know. What does it matter at this point? She's out right now, so...
She's out. Damaris Dantes also out for a little bit. So means the rookie Michaela Timpson. There we go.
Timpson?
Yep.
Okay.
Timpson, not Thompson. Timpson.
Okay. Timpson.
Yep. Got more action and saw more time on the floor.
Yeah.
So the game against...
I kept forgetting who she was. I was like, wait, okay, who is that? Who is that again?
Yeah. Game against the Sparks. Guess who's back?
Ari McDonald.
Ari is back. Tell a friend.
Yes. Yes. I wish you guys could have seen me. I
jumped up in excitement. Literal jump.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it may have been announced pregame, but we didn't watch all of that. No. So I was like,
we didn't expect it till we watched the game.
I jumped up and I was so excited,
and to be fair, the reason we're coming to you on Saturday instead of Thursday or Friday is because we've had family activities Thursday and Friday. So we've gotten to watch the games whenever we could.
Yeah.
And so not live. So we didn't know. We stay away from social media, and then we watch the game,
as much as we
fresh as much as we can.
Yeah.
So took you by surprise.
It did. I was so excited. So excited. So excited.
Kelsey Mitchell continued her tear with 20 points.
Yeah.
McDonald had 14. And Natasha Howard, Aaliyah Boston, and Sophie Cunningham rounded out the double-digit scorers in the game against the Sparks.
Yeah, I was impressed with the level of everybody putting in some buckets and some points and things like that. So I was
coming out on a tear.
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
No.
Lexi Hull only had 6 and 0 for 3 from deep. But the difference in the game had to have been really the fourth quarter, but kind of the turn of the second half. Kelsey Plum was all passing for the Sparks in the first half and took over the drive to the lane in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter. And then on defense, there was solid defense from the Fever in the first half and the second half.
Yeah.
They let Kelsey Plum just do the thing down the lane.
Yeah, I know.
Over and over.
I know.
And rebounding as well.
Yes.
All kinds of aggressive rebounding and things like that. The first half, second half, they were kind of back to their old selves with the allowing of second chance points.
Yeah. I was really disappointed to see that.
And then you saw another double-digit fourth quarter lead disappear as the Sparks went 35-17.
So heartbreaking. I hate when you have such a healthy, good lead, and you start to have fun and you let go a little bit.
To be fair, 10 as much as it was.
But I think that's a healthy lead.
Yeah, and it's been progressing, and then you end up with the 10 points to start the fourth, and then
I anticipated that lead to continue. Yeah. So, and it didn't. I was really disappointed in that they put themselves in a situation where they felt like they had to be a little bit of desperation mode going on. So
there was the fouling and typical stuff that happens when you're behind in a game there. It brings up a question. Sorry, it does. Whenever these kinds of things are tendencies, then you start to question the coach at the top. Is it a coaching issue now that this has happened?
You brought this up
3 times, I think, maybe 4 times in the season, but 3 times within a short span here.
Yeah.
With and without Caitlin Clark, both.
Yeah. Yeah, you've brought this up, and you're bringing it up again.
Yeah. There has to be a reason it gets brought up because,
right?
I mean, now to be fair, Sophie Cunningham after the Sparks game said it was on her leadership. She needed to rally the troops. She's the enforcer. It's become her MO this season after the Sun game, especially. So that extends not just from defending Caitlin Clark, but the enforcer. She's always the one. I love that they huddle during fouls.
Yeah.
Between there, so old school, such a good team bonding on the court.
It just grounds it pulls everybody back together.
Communication so key. But Sophie is, when she's out there, she's the one to pull everybody together and say the stuff and get the stuff going. So it's not just that she's the enforcer as the defender of Caitlin Clark. She's the enforcer of the team. Making sure that you get stuff done on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a protector. Definitely.
So, but once again, there's only so much you can put on the players.
They get emotional.
I like good team basketball.
I know.
What can I say? Okay,
I know.
So,
you're so cute.
So, but there's only so much you can put on the players because there are many different players that can make a difference in things. But when it comes to where the buck stops, it stops at the top. And so, when this kind of thing is a tendency, it calls into question the coaching aspect.
Yeah.
Stephanie White. Then that brings us to game 16.
Yep.
This is roughly about a third of the way through the season at this point.
Yeah.
A little bit more than that. And this one was the very next night in Dallas against the Wings. And it seemed like toward the end it could be more of the same.
Yeah, that was...
You got a 20-point lead at the end of the first.
Silence. I was like,
hello.
Yeah, come
McFly.
on. This is the same thing is happening.
You got a 20-point lead at the end of the first. You got a 13-point lead at the end of the half. And then that just seems to dwindle. And they cut it to as much as 2. They were in the lead.
Yeah.
Dallas was in the lead in the fourth quarter.
And you have to also think about, like, this wasn't just recently. If you think about it, what have I been saying this whole season, pretty much this whole season, that second half is where they're like,
let off the gas.
Yeah, they let off the gas, and then they come in a desperation mode in that fourth quarter, and it's too late then. You know, I was saying the same thing about the Pacers too. Like they both are doing this. So I don't know. That's with Caitlin in the game too. That's not just like without her. So that does go into question of, is this a coaching issue? Is this like just maybe it's a clash of personalities, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I
mean, is the DeWanna Bonner off the field thing bigger or off the
I don't know.
Bigger than we know. You know, what goes into the locker room to know that, you know, there are other things brewing. I don't know. We're not there.
And I think that kudos to them that if there is something going on, that it's not really become a major like public thing, and they've done a good job of like protecting the franchise as a whole. So
yeah. I was gonna say something else about that.
Ooh.
Nope, forgot it.
Okay.
It's gone forever.
No worries.
Ari McDonald started the fever off though with that 33-13 first quarter. Yes, that Ari McDonald started 2 games after getting picked back up.
Yeah.
I know there's a Caitlin Clark. Of course, Caitlin Clark would start, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that like it like she has a role right now, and that is huge.
And to start, you know, you actually called this. You said you would start her.
Yeah, I would.
And So, we're talking about all the coaching. Kudos to you. You did the same thing Stephanie White. I don't know. That's sorry.
Nice. Thanks. I'm not saying she's a bad coach.
No. But
maybe she's a great coach.
I would bring her off the bench because of the energy she provides. But she got you off, started to a really good lead here.
I mean, I could definitely see where that could be a big thing, but I don't know that she has the rapport built up with the girls just yet to get them to really like follow her, such as like, McConnell, who came off the bench with Pacers and he was able to rally and he was able to like, because they all they wanted to play with him, they wanted to play up to that. So same for Halliburton, same mentality, just different, right? I don't know that she has a rapport built with the team yet to like kind of rally them to get them going. So I'm not sure that she's there just yet. So I thought it was a great move what they did starting her.
Yeah. You want to start well and end well.
Yeah.
Dallas won those middle two quarters. But then, speaking of ending well, the Fever were able to close out a fourth quarter lead in this game, albeit with many doubts that might have come up.
Yeah, I was like, my heart started sinking whenever that lead started slipping away. And I was like, oh, surely they're going to catch up. They're going to go again. We've got to make a stop here. We've got to, like, I kept being like, we got to make a stop here. Come on, let's go. Let's go. But I was nervous.
Yeah. Several players kept them in it. Natasha Howard with another double-double in her career. 15 points, 14 rebounds, I believe. That is now 51. She got on it last time, I think, with her 50th double-double.
I had no idea that she had been in the league for that long. After you told me, I was like,
Yep.
That was pretty impressive.
On the broadcast, they said 53 games of postseason experience. Which,
that's impressive.
Again, is why they brought in these players like that, like like Sophie Cunningham, who have
Colson.
The experience in big time situations, because that was the biggest difference in the Fever's one playoff series last season. Is
the experience wasn't there.
There was so much experience on the other side, and there was zero games of postseason experience. Yeah, because you're building a young team, and so your core has been largely top draft picks, which means you're not winning. So it's kind of how it goes. Kelsey Mitchell kept upping her game and led the way with 32 points, including 4 of 6 from downtown.
Yeah.
Just gets everywhere you want her to be.
Yeah.
The right moments she can drive, so you got to honor that. But then you play off and she'll bury the 3 on you.
Yeah. She came up incredible. She played hard, and she's so fun to watch because she's just like a pinball. Like she just kind of like pings around and like then is able to make the shot out of like nowhere. And I was like watching her and I was like, how do you practice that well? Like, because there are drills and things, you practice those situations.
She's kind of glitchy.
Yeah. And how often, she's practicing those scenarios and getting ready for those type of shots because she makes them consistently over and over again.
Yeah.
I do have to like do a little shout out. I don't know if you had like already something. Paige Bueckers.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Yep.
So fun to watch. Like, she was a lot of fun to watch. And honestly, I didn't anticipate it to be like, I was like, the hype. I'm not always been a huge, like, I think she's a great player. That's not what I mean.
It was and they do this in the WNBA. It's in Dallas. So it's a Dallas broadcast team. And so they're doing their best to blend Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, always used in the same sentence because it's, Paige Bueckers is their version. Yeah.
And she's a great player. Like I
don't doubt that this will be a really good battle for their entire career. I think that's great. I think that is great rivalry.
Like that's so fun to watch.
I'm going to stop right there.
Okay. Well,
I don't want anyone to think that I'm coming down on Angel Reese unnecessarily for the wrong reasons. You need to be quiet then.
You need to be quiet. No, okay. Again, shout out to Paige Bueckers. She had a great game. I loved watching that huge like that huge 3 at half. was a momentum changer for them. And that was, I knew as soon as she hit it, and I saw how everybody reacted, and I saw her reaction as a leader on the court, and I was like, that's dangerous right there. Yep. So that was a lot of fun to watch. So anyway.
We as Sabres fans got a little taste of what it's like to be on the other side of some of the stuff that happened last year after the Olympic break with Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun. So.
And I will say that statistically, Paige Bueckers is making a faster, quicker adjustment to the WNBA than Caitlin Clark did.
Yeah. I
don't know that.
I don't think that Paige has had the target on her that Caitlin has had, and there's been different type of play allowed towards Caitlin than what Paige is getting. So I'm not sure that she's had a fair.
I also think that this Wings team may be just a touch better than the top to bottom than the Fever last year at the beginning of the season. Was able to gel. I think that Paige Bueckers' game transitions better and easier to the whole of the players in the WNBA, where Caitlin Clark is a little bit more of an acquired taste. Yeah. And
I can see that.
The pace, the vision, and things like that is different. I'm not going to say advanced, although I did, but it's different enough that it's sometimes hard to figure out and catch up with. So, so shout out to her. Boston McDonald added 21 and 13, even though Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham combined for only 8 points. The presence was felt in defense, leadership, and hustle.
Yeah, those. I mean, I can't even say how many times that I've seen Lexi like out of nowhere.
Sophie only hit 1 3.
Yeah,
that 1 3 came at a very, very critical point in the fourth quarter to really kind of help extend the lead, build some momentum back for the Fever.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it was fun.
It started with offense and it ended with defense, and that's how you want to play basketball.
Okay, but did I say about their defense, like, so impressed with the defensiveness that was on the court today. Like,
locked on.
So fluid, and it's exactly what, I'm sure their coaches are proud, and they're all the way from like fundamentals, young kids, all the way up. They're watching their kids that they've coached and have been like, oh, look how the fundamentals have stuck. Yeah. Look how that, this is what defense is supposed to look like, and it's not very often that you get to go, man, this would be a great game to teach how to do defense on. So anyway. Yep. I was really impressed. I thought they did great.
Suffocating, sticking with their man, communicating on switches, all the basic fundamentals.
Standing tall, and I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought the refs did a great job too, for the most part. I don't think that it was like anything majorly that really was like.
There were a few that were questionable here or there, but it was I think on both sides. Yeah. That's what you care. Is there? You're gonna make mistakes. Yep. Are you making equal amount of mistakes, or is it lopsided?
Right.
So,
right.
Well, it's time that we have Commissioner's Cup final against the West leading Lynx on Tuesday. Liam and I will also be back next week to predict what the Pacers offseason looks like after the Tyrese Halliburton injury, and they drafted 2 guards. What will happen? Mark Sterner.
This is Alexis.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all Indiana.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.